Hi, I am Kelsey here at Makings of a Maximalist. I've been calling myself a maximalist before minimalism was really a thing, so stick around, you'll find out why. I've been knitting for a couple years. Originally, I started knitting before I had my son, who just turned 5, but pretty soon after I did, we were pregnant with my son, and I got carpal tunnel, and so I had gone to the cutest local yarn store. I'll talk about it later with some acquisitions, but um, I had gone there for the first time after being there about 10 years prior, 15 years now, walking in and thinking it was just gorgeous and telling myself, someday I'm going to learn how to knit so that I can come back here and buy something. So, shout out to Darn Knit Anyway in Stillwater, Minnesota. It is just beautiful. I went there last week actually. Um, yeah, so this is going to be kind of a standard knitting podcast today, which podcast still sounds wild, but that's what we're all calling it. So call it that. I shall. Um, so finished objects. I guess I'm wearing this Lento sweater. Finished it a little while back, not too long ago, but not yeah, not in the last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Thinking about the date. I remember binding it off. So about 2 weeks ago, and I've worn it a number of times since. I knit it up in Drops Flora as well as Drops Brushed Alpaca. Um, Drops is in my price range, so I order a lot of it. And in fact, I really enjoy this. I think it feels really nice. I think it looks really nice. And the Lento is such a great pattern because it knits up so fast. So highly recommend if you haven't tried it. I like the little folded down collar. I hadn't done one of those before, so that was just kind of neat to see and try the process. But I'll show you the silliest finished object. This one has a bit of a saga. I'm going to grab some other chunks or balls of yarn here. So I bought the most beautiful Primrose Yarn Company, I believe it was called Homestead Renegade variegated yarn. I just loved it. And when I was at the store, I asked, I said, hey, it's for my first colorwork project. Can you help me pick a yarn? And they helped me pick this, which beautiful color. But when I knitted it up with this, you can see there was just no contrast there. It didn't work. So I got to about here in the chart, realized I wasn't going to see any of the rest of it. Could barely see that there was a flower there. And also, I jumped right into color work without learning how to do color work. And I was trying to catch my floats all prim and proper, but I was doing them at the same stitch all the way up. And so it was massively puckering. So it was great, ripped it out, and eventually got a new skein of yarn to be able to finish it up and got a color that contrasts. Finished it, was very proud, put it on. Um, and, it is a little much. I am a person with a big head to begin with, but I don't know. I'm considering keeping it just for the memories and wearing it like out playing with my son in the backyard. I don't think I would want to wear it out necessarily. Um, it's hard. I could tack up the brim, but it's going to be hard to do that without showing what's underneath. I bought a pom-pom to try and salvage it. We'll see. I feel like I just look a little like dopey, which I do love the Seven Dwarfs. So not the worst thing in the world, but not really what I'm going for on an everyday basis. So I thought that was kind of funny and wanted to share that because while I'm super, super proud of my color work, I think it looks really nice and neat. I learned that my row gauge is really, really off. So it is about a quarter longer than it should be. And I'm experimenting a little bit with how to try and reduce that, but I think it mostly was due to me trying to do the color work extra loosely so that I didn't have that puckering that I had the first time, and it just got a little wonky. But such is life. It's all learning. So I love knitting because I might just rip it out and do it again for a third time, but then I'd be really happy with it. So we'll see. I'm just going to kind of leave it. I live about a block outside of Minneapolis, and it is finally warming up around here. So I don't really need a hat anymore. But come early fall, I might be wanting to knit this again to the correct gauge and size. So we'll see. But I have a couple whips that I thought I would share. I am doing an Olga sweater. I haven't made one before, and I'm doing it with like the Hannah Way knit along. So here is my Olga. It's out of Drops Charisma, which is a super wash. Not normally my first choice, but it looks pretty good. There's big holes. I haven't woven in any ends yet. So if you see a really wonky looking bit, that's probably where a new ball of yarn started. So I think it's looking pretty nice. I'm excited to finish it up. I made the body a little longer or the front a little longer to account for my bust. So the sleeve counts were a little wonky. I picked them up once, knit most of the sleeve, and I had picked up too many stitches and it looked pretty goofy. So pulled that out and then just restarted this yesterday, I believe. And so I'm trying to get it done within this week so I can wear it for my son's little 5-year-old birthday party. So we'll see if I get that done in time, but I think I should be able to. I've got a sleeve and a half plus a collar to do, so not too bad. But it has been fun being in that Discord with like 800, 900 other knitters. There's probably 20 people that talk often. But it's really fun to see people's colors and hear people's takes on what yarn they do and don't like, and just see pictures of people's life. I am a social person. I like people, so that's very fun for me. Um, Another thing that I have going that I just started it is the Poet Scarf by Sari Nordland. I'm knitting this up in a Barocco yarn that I got. I haven't used it before. Barocco Renew. It was on super sale on Knit Picks, and so I bought a couple balls of it, and I am trying a lace pattern for the first time in a very long time. I have not done lace since when I was first learning how to knit years ago. But I'm excited. So once I finish that sweater, I'm going to hurry up and get this done. But this is a project that requires a little bit more focus from me. So while I can sometimes knit other things when I'm at hockey practice, my little boy plays hockey, I can knit some things while I'm at practice with him and other things I can't. And this is a definite cannot. I don't know that I could really watch anything right now while I'm doing this because I'm just getting to the first bit of the pattern. Maybe once I've gone through like a repeat or so, I would be able to, but not yet. And then I went over to Darn Knit Anyway in Stillwater, Minnesota for their birthday party this month. They do an awesome, they do a lot of community events. So they have the most beautiful yarn store where I first, decided that I really wanted to learn how to knit so that I could buy something at the store, which sounds dumb, but it is true. So, um, they do a lot of community events. They have their shop, and then they have a huge room that you can just go and sit there and knit. And so I went for their monthly birthday party where if you're in their email list and things, you get $20 store credit as well as a discount to use on their birthday party day. So I went for their March birthday party because my birthday was earlier this month. And I used my discount and got a bunch of yarn, and I sat down and talked with a few lovely people who were in there and knitting. And it was fun to see people's projects, hear what they liked and didn't like about their patterns or their yarn, or see somebody get pretty frustrated with what I thought was the absolute most gorgeous project. And she was so frustrated she wanted to toss it. But nice to see that we all go through some of those same emotions when we're knitting. But I picked up a skein of Cascade Heritage, kind of like a sock yarn fingering weight, and I am going to knit another little triangle bandana scarf. Um, Nothing wild, but this is I can work on it in hockey, so I'll bring it with me to practices and things where I want to be watching something, but I can still knit while I'm doing that. So I got a skein of that. And I don't know, I thought this purple was just a really pretty color. It's called grape juice, I believe. Quite fitting. Um, and then I got a couple other things. I am doing a test knit um, for the Sammy sweater and collar, and I picked up some brown Cascade Heritage, just fingering weight, because around the hem, the cuffs, and then around the scarf, triangle scarf collary bit, there is like a really pretty crochet detail that looks like lace. So I got this for that. And then I got a number of skeins of um, blue sky woolstock light fingering. I got 6 skeins of this, and I'm going to make the Perch shawl by Gudrun Johnson. It's just beautiful, and so I'm really excited to work on that. But that will likely happen a little closer to fall, is my guess. So I'm working on my Make 9 and trying to knock some things out, but I did put a few things in there that are just projects that I am not going to want to knit in the summer, like mittens and yeah, 2 pairs. I put 2 pairs of mittens. I wanted to make a pair of mittens for myself and a pair of mittens for my son. So I'll probably hit those up in October or something, and until then, I've got a little more wiggle room with what I am knitting. So I am hoping to knit up a Tolsta tee after I do this test knit. And yeah, a few other fun things on the horizon, but just thought it would be fun to sit down and have a little chit chat with other people who get it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.